determination, success, courage, discipline, laser focus, strength, bravery, confidence. That is what it takes for your greatness. That is what it takes for success. It's about time for your greatness, and we're going to get you there. Welcome to day one of aligning to your supreme abundance, your super abundance. We just have to learn how to align, and it will all come together. So as you guys are hopping on, say hello to me. I have a lot of new people in this group, new ladies, beautiful ladies. Hey, Paula. And I would love to learn more about you guys, the ones that I do not know. I am Keri Johnson. For those of you who don't know me, if this is your first time seeing me, I am a manifesting and business mindset coach for women, leaders, entrepreneurs who are determined to be the best that they can, or that are determined to find that the path that they are craving to walk on. And it's all possible. I love this so much. I'm living my passion. I am loving my passion. It's a science, so I love the science as I live the science as well. So I'm so excited. We're going to be spending the next few days together. So I do have a couple announcements. I want to announce that in the next 3 days, I do have some giveaways that I am offering. The first two are going to be for the first two people that are the most engaged in the group, either with me asking questions or with each other. And then I will find out Wednesday afternoon who those two people are. And then I will be offering a 30-minute coaching session for each one of those ladies. And then the third one is going to be for the one who refers the group out. You can't tag anybody in here because it's a private group. But if you want to take a picture of the masterclass or a little video of it and put it on your social media and then tag me in it, then however many times you do that, you will get your name in the draw that many times. So if you do it 3 times, your name goes in 3 times, or 6 times, it goes in 6 times. So the more it's referred out, or the more you refer people in, then that's going to be one of the prizes as well. So let's get started with aligning to the supreme abundance, alignment. And I know we talk about it all the time, like what is alignment? How do you align to the desires? How do you be the energy? It gets kind of confusing, so I want to break it down for you. I use the story about going to the chiropractor because my back was out of alignment for many years after I had my second daughter. And I didn't know what was wrong. Like I literally felt like I was walking off, like my hips were off somehow. I was out of alignment. And the minute I found out what was wrong, I went to the chiropractor, they crapped me back into shape and put me back into a straight channel. If you're off in any way, it hurts. It doesn't feel good. If your mind is off in any way, it doesn't feel good. It hurts in a different way, sometimes emotional, sometimes, in your physical and pain in your heart or whatever. The same thing with our cars too. We have to take our cars to the mechanic to keep them, aligned. If we keep hitting curbs, or when I was younger, my dad would get in my car, it would like pull to one way or the other, pull to the right or left, and he would ask me if I'm hitting curbs again. I'm like, I don't know. So he's like, we need to get in alignment to make sure that the tires are on right. Everything's going straight. So when you take your hands off the wheel, your car is going straight. When you're walking, you're easily feeling good and walking in alignment. So the same thing happens when it comes to using the energies, using our powers, using manifesting, connecting our thoughts and our words and our feelings. Our feelings are our mood. And we have different moods, whether it's everything comes from fear or love. But on the fear scale, we have all the negative emotions. We've got the resentment, we have the fear, we have the jealousy, the rage, the anger, all the negative emotions that you can think about are coming from one area. So that's a mood. And we know a lot of people that we probably could just call out their mood in one word. Well, that's jealous, and that's envious, and that's that one's angry, and that one's bashful, and that one's sleepy. We could give them all a name in one word. We could claim what their emotion normally is, how they are vibrating, how they act for the majority of the time. On the other scale, the other moods are the happy ones, the higher vibrational ones, the positive ones, anything positive, happy, love, exhilaration, excitement, and anything that makes you smile would come from the positive scale. So the goal would be to take an emotion that's lower. Okay, so let's just say something happened to you and you're angry about it. The worst thing that we do with ourselves is we compound emotions. So it's not bad enough just that something happened and you're angry about it. Hi, Mary. It's worse when we get angry at ourselves for being angry at the situation. Or so we're putting two double emotions on it. So we're angry at the situation and now we become angry with ourselves. Or we're embarrassed about a situation and now we become embarrassed for us or angry at us that we reacted that way to a situation. Does that make sense? We compound emotions. We compound negative emotions. And all that does is destroy what we're trying to manifest. It totally puts a block on. I mean, the universe is just like, hands up. I don't know what's going on down there, but we're going to like give her a break until she just maybe goes and takes a salt bath and relaxes and stops compounding these emotions one on top of each other. And we do it all the time. We hurt ourselves all the time, and it's so terrible. So we can recognize the negative emotions. Of course, they're going to surface, but they don't have to trigger us like they could have in the past. The more you understand how important your energy is for the things that we want, the less you will allow people in your energy space. Our energy is so important, and to keep it high vibing too. So when we're thinking our positive thoughts, I feel like anytime we're thinking something, I mean, we've got 60,000 thoughts going through our head a day that we're like blipping them out to the universe, and a lot of them are on replay. They're on autopilot. They are old stories that we keep replaying and replaying. And I thought about this too, because something came up in my mind the other day, and I'm like listening to this old story. It's like an old movie's playing in the back of my head from long time ago. And it captured my attention for a minute, and I'm like, remembering the whole thing, and I'm like, no more old stories. Okay, how can I change this right now? I got to change this old story. It's not happening right now. It's like a record that's stuck on repeat. I don't want to listen to that anymore. Where am I going? I need to focus on my direction. I need to focus on my path, the path that I want to be in and be on. And then laser focus on the path, not laser focusing on anything I could trip over or what would happen. I got to keep my eye on the ball, keep my eye on the thing that I want. And anytime those old records play, we have to switch it and focus on what we want. And eventually we'll create the habit of changing that. And then they'll get softer and softer and softer. And eventually just stop, but it's a training mechanism. I mean, even any great athlete, to be the greatest of anything takes practice. Nobody just comes out. I mean, I guess there are the few that are just like the prodigies or whatever, but for the most part, a great musician that plays the guitar has hours and hours and sleepless nights of practicing until it's perfect. Bleeding fingers from the guitar, blisters, and that's what people don't see when they're on stage doing these fantastic performances. People are like, oh, I want to do that. I wish I could do that. But do they? Are they really willing to put the work in to do that? Most people are not. Most people are not willing to put the work in to see their fullest potential, to see their greatness. Because it might mean bleeding fingers. It might mean sleepless nights. It might mean traveling far away. It might mean a little discomfort to get to the greatness part of it. A ballerina, same thing. Excruciating practices, hours of practice, and bleeding toes. If you've ever seen a ballerina's feet, But they go after what they want, and they excel at what they want because they have the determination and the love for the greatness of where they're going. They know where they're going, and they will do whatever it takes to get there. They're not allowing fear to stop them, although fear comes in, I'm sure. They're not allowing any judgments to stop them. I'm sure that they get it, though. People saying, why are you doing that? Why don't you get a real job? You're never going to make it. And then look what happens. They stop listening to them. Even going to the gym, I've noticed too, in the very beginning too, it makes you sick to your stomach. Literally, most people throw up the first couple times they're working out. It's awful. You're not prepared for it. You don't feel good. You're pushing yourself beyond the limits. You're pushing yourself beyond where your body is used to being, and therefore it gets upset. It's sore the next day. You can barely walk. But you know what? If you go back the next day, the next day, the next day, the next day, a little bit each time, you're going to get stronger. You're going to get more confident. You're going to be able to do it and feel good about it, and not get sick anymore and not feel the feelings. You're going to feel amazing doing it. And for those that don't like going to the gym, it's so important to move your body. It's so important to move the energy in your body, to go outside and have a conversation with nature, to just take a little walk, something to get your blood going, something to get your mind off of whatever it is, so you can stay in a little bit of Zen calmness, if that makes sense. I needed kickboxing when I was going through my divorce, and I didn't like working out. But I did put out there when I was younger, I want to look better. I want to be in shape after I have my babies. That was something that I just put out there. I really want to, but having a couple babies, I'm just like, I might as well wait, to start working out or get in shape or anything. And then, I was going through my divorce, and that led me to the gym, and I needed that kickboxing to release the energy that was building up inside of me. And so it helped me with the divorce, it helped me with my energy, and it also helped me get into the best shape of my life. So it just happened. So if you're looking for something to do, like let's say even I don't like working out, you could potentially find something that you enjoy doing. Nothing we do is supposed to be something we don't like. If you don't like it, you're not aligned with it. That's the thing. Like, manifesting is supposed to be fun. Journaling, if that's for you, is supposed to be enjoyable. It's not supposed to be like homework. The minute it's homework, there's a block there. So you should put it down then, or go do something different. Life is supposed to be fun. Business is supposed to be fun. So if you are in a business that you do not enjoy doing, but you're showing up every single day, but you don't enjoy doing it, you're not aligned with the business that you're in. So to think about that, and I don't know if you're in businesses like that, or if everybody is enjoying everything enjoying the businesses that they're in, which would be phenomenal. Enjoying your clients, and if something comes up that throws you off, when you're misaligned, it doesn't feel good. You'll know it. You're separating yourself from your inner being, your source. And then we start compounding our emotions with fear and worry, and I don't really like this, how am I ever going to get there? All these questions start coming up, and that's when we have to just shut it down, because there's so much magic, power, help, support, guidance. God, angel, universe is always there, just needs to be called on, prayed to, and you will get your answers. And that's the best part about it, is that you don't have to do anything alone. If you're in a situation where you're struggling with something, and you keep telling the same story to yourself, I don't like this is what I'm going through, it's making me feel this way, it's not fair, I don't know why my life is so hard, I don't know why this is happening to me, and then you call someone and you tell them the story again, then you wake up the next day and you're saying the same story again, then you call maybe another friend and you tell them the same story. That is taking your manifesting magnetic tentacles, that I like to call them, going out into the universe, which every thought and word we speak, they go out and they sweep around like a magnetic fairy and collect things to bring back to you that are in line with your mood, that are in line with your words. So if you keep telling that same story, what's going to happen? The tentacles are going to go out and find more things to add to that story that are not going to be beneficial to you. And we all do it. I've been there. So if you find yourself, we go through things. So acknowledge the story, acknowledge the situation, of course, acknowledge the negative feelings that are coming up. But if you can take your wisdom and then switch it to a new story, this is where we do the scripting, script it out differently. How do you want to call that friend? How do you want to tell about that story? What would be the best way you can tell that story to someone? And then start telling that story. Even though it hasn't happened yet, you are starting to create the momentum, so your tentacles can, well, wait a second, I thought she's over here, but no, wait, she's over here, detour. We have to go out and find things that will benefit her with the story. And you will start to get evidence that, hey, Jenna, you will start to get, hey, Stephanie, you'll start to get evidence that the more you speak on this story, creating a new thing, if you tell a lie too many times, you're going to start believing it. It's kind of like that. You're not lying. You are trusting in the universe. You're trusting in God to go out and change the story for you, because everything is a growing solution. Everything is, we're being protected all the time. So if something looks negative to you, we assume the worst. But it could be for your best interest. So to also claim on it that, all right, I don't like where this is going or why this is happening, so make it as easy for me, make it work out in my best interest, the best as possible, So it doesn't have to be such a horrible, whatever it is, divorce, horrible financial situation, horrible sickness. We have that power. We have that power, and we can tap into it at any moment. We do not have to live in this world of what the government's saying, what the news is saying, what other people are saying. Sounds crazy, but it's true. I've seen it. I see it so often in my life because I ask for it. And then I dissect what is happening if something is going against what I feel like it should be going, One of the reasons why we get so angry or upset is when we start learning this information, we're raising. We're getting so far away from where we used to be. We're getting so far away from where the anger and the hurt and the nasty messages and people are, whatever. And we're enjoying life and we're flowing and we're having fun. And then all of a sudden when something happens, it's like a snap, like a rubber band. It doesn't really hurt when you're down here because you're used to it. But when you're up here and the rubber band snaps, you're too far away. You're not expecting it because your life is flowing so easy. And that's when you're in alignment, when you are allowing the universe, when you're trusting the universe, when you're having fun, when you're living in joy, and when you have so much belief in that which you want is going to come in because you just said it and you commanded it, and you're that just cool. You are just that cool. You are greatness. You are success. You were born for it. You were born worthy, and nothing has changed. Other people have said things, but nothing has changed with you. So when you're up here, when something really, really hurts, I would just appreciate, oh my gosh, well, thank you. Wow, I must have been really in line because that really sucked. And then don't stay on the story very, very long, It's easy to be down here because it's comfortable. We're used to it, but not if you start stretching your wings and growing. I have a short story to tell you that happened over New Year's Eve. I was going to bed. I was talking to my daughter, and she's like, well, why don't you just go ask your angels, ask your subconscious what the answer is? And I'm like, good idea. I do so many things that sometimes I forget to ask at night, or I, don't journal every day because I do so many other different things because I just like keeping this fun. So I went to bed New Year's Eve. We didn't do anything, so I was in bed pretty early, and I forgot to ask my angels. So I woke up at midnight or 1 or 2, whatever time I wake up in the middle of the night, and asked them, okay, I'm having a conversation with you guys. Everybody, give me the answer in an easy, a way that I can understand, a way that I will remember, and make it fairly easy. Because sometimes when we ask our angels or dreams, the vibration in the other world is very strong, and it's too strong for us sometimes to handle. And it could be scary. Even though it's not meant to be scary, it can be scary. I've woke up vibrating before, just because I didn't, ask for it to be gentle, but I got my answers. It took me a little while to stop vibrating. And it didn't hurt. It was just weird. And whatever we don't understand, whatever we feel we don't understand is frightening to us, the things we don't understand. So anyways, I asked, and I woke up in the morning. I woke myself up talking, chanting. I was saying something over and over again. And I'm thinking, who's here? Who's talking to me? And I was talking, I was chanting. And I was chanting, everything you put after I am, I will amplify. Everything you put after I am, I will amplify. And we know that I am are two of the most powerful words to be used because we're connecting with God. And God is I am. I am that I am. So we are all little gods inside of us too, and God wants the best for all of us. So anything you put after I am So be careful of whatever you put after I am, because good or bad, it will be amplified. So that was my message for New Year's Day, to start 2020 off with a chant from my angels. Because I know that, but I don't like, I didn't read anything, I didn't say anything. So it was just kind of funny that was the message for 2021, for New Year's Day. It was kind of funny. My daughter laughed about it, and so did her daughter. Because weird stuff like that, not weird, happens to me all the time. Because I ask for it. So, power versus force. A lot of times we can, oh my gosh, Jenna, the candle exercise, yes. Oh, I love that. I've got lots of little things. We force our way into things. We force the answers. We force the manifestations because we want it. And if we want it, and if it's not happening on our time, we just go and force it, which ends up being a disaster, because you can't force the universal power. You can't force God's timing. And we have got to get rid of this story about time. It has to be on our time. And once we release that it has to be on our time, and we allow it to be on the universe's time, then it comes in. It usually comes in faster. That's where like the releasing part of it goes. We are so small being humans, we only know so much. So to allow these bigger powers to work for us in our best interest, you know what I want? This is kind of what I'm saying, just amplify it however you do, and the best way for everybody involved. Thank you so much. And whenever it comes in the meantime, you can give me some other little things. That'd be great, but not to put so much pressure on or force the thing that you want. And I'm going to give you an example of forcing it. Not really forcing it, but for the ones that want to win the lottery, or want all of a sudden to have a $200,000 month when they've never had a $20,000 month. When you're forcing the money thing, the money has such hurt and wounding around it that's one of the biggest hurdles that we have to get over. The mindset training, the retraining your mind on that, resetting your money mindset. Because going after the money is no different than going after the butterfly. Going after the money is no different than the cup of coffee. It's the same tools, but all of a sudden we're getting these little manifestations. Oh, we're having fun. Oh, this is fun. Oh, this is fun. Let me try money. $10,000. And all of a sudden we start feeling like, the ickies in our stomach, and it probably won't come in. And then we start going down this mood, rabbit hole of because you said money, so we have to manifest the money a different way, which I do later in my wish program. But I got a set of cards for Christmas, and they are Abraham Hicks, like one of her financial cards or law of attraction cards or something like that. It's a card deck, not angel cards, not tarot, nothing like that. Just little, messages of the law of attraction. So I was playing with them one night, and because they weren't really like an angel card deck, I was just going to pull one, but then my boyfriend was like, okay, pull another one. So I like to see them jump. I like to just keep shuffling, and then whatever one is supposed to show out, if it lands on my lap, or if one just all of a sudden peeks out, I want to see, I pick them that way. So we picked our 3, and they were great, and we read them, and whatever. So the next day, I brought them with us. Next day was Christmas Day, I guess, so nothing was really open. So we were driving around just, trying to find something to do. So I brought them in the car with me, and I started shuffling them. And then I'm like, I'm going to shuffle the jumpers, and I make fun because that's how they do it on YouTube, but I don't know how to do it, so it's whatever jumps out. Sometimes 50 jump out. Nope, that's not my card. So I was doing the jumpers, jump. Okay, and then one jumped out, and I just put it on the console. And then I was doing it again, and I'm talking to him. I just started dazing off. I don't know why. I don't know what was happening. And I just started pulling one. I don't know. In the middle of the deck, I was just pulling it. And I'm like, I go, what just happened here? I didn't even know what was happening. I put that aside. I go, apparently that's our card number 2. Hey, Caroline. So then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, we need one more, whatever. So I was getting kind of tired of the whole whatever. I wasn't even paying attention. And then one just kind of falls on my lap. But I'm shuffling every single time. So I pick up the 3 cards, I start reading them again. And I go, well, this one sounds familiar because it said something about the law of polarity, and that's kind of my law, my word. I like talking about that one. I'm like, this one's from last night. So I put that down. And I'm reading the other 2, and I remember he commented on a third eye, real pretty artwork on it. And I'm like, I look at the third eye and I'm like, oh gosh, and I'm like, this one's from last night too. All 3 cards were the same ones we picked the night before. And I put all 3 of them on the top of the deck, but I was shuffling every single time. I was shuffling. And I ended up picking all 3 of the same cards. I mean, that's like winning the lottery, except there was no money behind it. So there was no resistance against it. There was no strangling. There was no force. There was no holding. There was no anything about it. But the odds of doing that would be very similar to winning the lottery. So we celebrated it as if, I mean, it was just a celebration because the angels are always talking. We're always getting guided. We're always getting signs. And it was just so funny for both of us. You saw that, right? You saw like my fingers were just pulling it out. I don't know why. like we don't even know why we do things, but to be open to, just to be open to all the goodness, to be open to the love, so we can stop struggling. We can stop acting in the old paradigm of what people think we're supposed to be acting like or being like, or, showing up for them to make them feel better when really it's not in your best interest. Things like that. Like anything can be changed. Any situation can be changed. And that's what's so powerful about this. And that's what's so magical and magnificent about this science, wisdom. It's just incredible that you can heal your body. You can call in money whenever you want to. You can call in clients. If you don't have your passion, you don't know your next step of your journey, you can ask for it. And as long as you're calm and trying to be in joy as much as you can, you will be guided, like just gently guided in such precision. And then celebrate the small moments. Celebrate the small moments like as if you won the lottery. Celebrate the penny you find. Celebrate something silly like the cards. Celebrate, my chanting in the morning because that's all I've been thinking about is anything you put after I will amplify. Me? Am I amplifying it? Who's amplifying it? Like, who's here with me right now, So to remember how powerful we are, to remember how worthy you are, to remember that, to not fall into or try not to fall into the realm of everybody else. 90% of people, 99, 95, something very high, are living their life on autopilot. They're living their life at 50%. 50%, that's all. That's all they get out of their life is 50%. And we don't have a very long time to be here. So who would not want to explore 100% every day of what is possible? What can I do today? 50%, that's why they're angry. That's why they're frustrated. That's why they're broke. That's why they don't move lines. They don't move lines. They don't move to the VIP line. They don't move to the front of the line. They're in their line that doesn't move. And they get that daily. They always have a negative story to tell. They were always in traffic. They always have something not going right for them. That's depression. That's the negativity of the ones that are living their life on 50%. But every now and then, they'll get a glimpse into what it would be like. They'll get a little something. They'll get an extra paycheck. They'll get a bonus. They'll get something that makes them feel the way that we feel more times than not. And they see the light for a moment, and then they're drawn back down into the 50%. I mean, that's how most live. We are born to stand out and shine. Yes, we were born to stand out. We were born to use our gifts. Every single person was blessed with gifts. Every single person was blessed with unique gifts. That's why there's really no competition. That's why you really don't have to copy anybody, because going in, focusing on what your gifts are, your gifts will make you more money. Your gifts will serve more people than trying to do what someone else is doing. You don't have to reinvent the wheel, but using your own gifts. Do you guys remember being in, a situation where you've not been aligned, where you've been misaligned and it just didn't feel right? And did you know what it was? That's a question I would like to know. When I started my online business And a lot of you, if you were in the Manifesting with Keri, if anybody's watching the replay, hashtag replay too, so I know who's watching. If you were in the Manifesting with Keri first group, do a little emoji just so I know who all is here for that was in the first group. That group I started, I think it's been almost 2 years ago, and I didn't know anything really about being online. I didn't use Facebook that much, and I didn't know how to do groups. I didn't know how to do anything. I just didn't know anything about it. I thought it was gonna be pretty easy because I could just go on. Don't I just go on, do a video, tell people what I like, or what I know, how I can help them, because I'm sure that they need to know this information that I have, the manifesting, and because of my past businesses and everything, and all the stories that I've worked through and had happen, the manifesting stuff. And I grew my group. We did a 30-day scripting challenge. We did a 30-day scripting challenge, which was high vibe. Everybody was making wins, and it was just, but I was so new. I didn't do live videos. I did only videos, 30 of them. And that was even daunting enough because there's no way. I was never visible online before. And no way was I gonna do a live video. No way. Did not have the confidence. I did not know, especially not on my personal page. But I did do the challenge. We got 900 people in there within 2 months. That's how fast we grew that group. And then I did a webinar at the end. I happened upon a coach who was a strategy coach. And she's very, very good at what she does. Very good, very strategic, very corporate. And I was going to quit. I don't know. I was so frustrated. I was misaligned. I was 100% misaligned because it was too much strategy. And I wasn't doing me. I wasn't doing my creative stuff. I've been in business for 25 years, kind of running it like how I run them. And it always works out. And I always make more and work less and have fun and, have great things happening. And I've set up my own websites. I do my own emails. I do my own stuff, my banners, my graphics. I do everything myself. So I'm like, why am I just not aligned with this? Every time I had a call with her, every time I had a task to do, I was in funnel hell. It was horrible. I'm like, this is crazy. This is insane. And I did a webinar that I still wasn't confident or comfortable with because it was all so new to me, but I did it because I'm not a quitter, so I needed to see it all go, all finish out. It was going to start a membership for people. And I ultimately got 6 people in the membership. So for a few months, I wasn't sure what was going in the membership though. And I'm like, I don't understand this. I didn't understand anything about it. And I'm like, this has to be easier than this. But I was with her for 6 months. Has to be easier. I kept saying, it has to be easier. This is not fun for me. This is not fun. So if I'm not having fun doing it and I'm showing up doing the strategy part of it, it's not aligned. Like you need the strategy, yes. Partial strategy. Mindset, you have to have fun more than strategy. The strategy will fall into place. Or you can hire people to do strategy for you. But when you're in situations like that, to change it around so you can have fun and be more aligned with it. I was so misaligned with that situation, but it was okay. It was a learning experience, and now I know how to do all the funnels and everything, but that's not what I was interested in hiring her for. I wanted to get on live. I didn't want to do live video yet. It still took me a while to do live video. But very simple. I needed it simple. I need things simple. I wanted to get on, do a video. Here's some information for you. If it helps you, if you've ever felt this way when it comes to manifesting. Again, I didn't know what I was going to be saying either. So that was when I was super misaligned. Vanessa, I know, you have to though. You have to. I mean, if you're, and I kept saying to myself, there's got to be another way. There's not only one way in my world. There's not only one way in this powerful I can do a different way. You can do a different way. Yes, you can. But I found out that the live videos are the best because people get to see you right now, see your energy, see how you are, interacting. It's still, if there was another way, I probably would choose a different way. Some people love it. I'm like, but to do a post, I do posts every now and then too, because people, they learn different ways, but I enjoy watching people's videos for a while. I get the energy and I get the information. I almost can embody it better. So Vanessa, I'm just kidding. So anyways, that was my misalignment. It was so frustrating. If you're forcing something, it's going to be frustrating. If you are misaligned, it's going to be frustrating. Ultimately I got, a handful of clients out of it, and then when I was working with them one-on-one, then me, the authentic me, could come back out again, and then I could get away from the strategy stuff. So we all know what we're capable of and what works for us and what doesn't. So we just have to remember that. We have to remember what's right for us, because nobody else does. Nobody else knows. So thinking about your moods and your emotions. So you can throw your thoughts out to the universe, and we can speak the words. But if we're not feeling it, if our mood is under the level of where the positive moods are, you're going to be conflicting. You're going to send conflicting stories out to the universe, conflicting moods out to the universe. That's where the alignment comes in. You've got to line up your thoughts and how you're speaking and how you're thinking and how you're feeling. So if you are that's why feeling the item, feeling the situation, that's why closing your eyes and going into your imagination and creating it that way, putting on some music, something to get you into that moment of, oh my gosh, it's having it right now. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh. Who am I calling next to tell them about this situation that just happened for me? In the present moment, your subconscious and the universe are going to be like, what? Oh, wait, we better get her that car. We better get her the clients. We better, because they don't know any different. Their subconscious doesn't know any different. So and that's not really faking it till you make it, to get into that feeling of what you want. And one of the easiest ways that I do it is if something, I have a moment that I go back to and I relish in that moment and I use it for my next desire. But when a moment happens for you that really makes you smile, that really makes you heartfelt, that really, really, really gives you in that sweet spot of your mood, your emotions, to not just be like, oh my gosh, that was awesome, and then moving on to something else. Checking your phone or talking to someone else, or to relish in that moment, and then relish in that moment again. And then again, and then again, and try to keep that momentum of that moment alive as long as you can. And that you will be propelling yourself up to the vibration to meet your desires. And then you don't have to stay there, but that's enough work for the day. And then as long as you stay neutral, the universe is already conspiring to bring things to you. So to try to relish in the moments that make you feel good as long as you can. And if you don't have one, then to go back and find one. Or to, watch a movie that makes you feel that way. And then just close your eyes and then put yourself into the situation. Those are all little tricks to get your mind kind of, I don't want to say tricked, but shortcuts. There's shortcuts to get you there. I mean, and why not a shortcut, right? The majority of people, their resistance against learning this information or even understanding it is so strong, and then they wonder why their lives are not working out the way that they want them to. And it is exactly like a cork. Now, if you put a cork in water, it floats. The natural state of a cork in water is floating. But we hold it underwater. That would be ridiculous to hold a cork underwater. The minute you let it go, it comes up. That's what we do with our lives all the time, every day. We're holding something down. We're not allowing the help. We're not allowing God, the universe, to assist us because we keep saying, no, it's not going to work. How is it going to work? It didn't work last time. It's probably not going to work. I was called a failure. I'll probably fail again. We're holding the cork under the water. What if it worked? What if you let the cork up? What if this time was your time? And if it's not, then next time will be your time. Get up, brush your knees off, and do it again. To know how powerful you are and to use the power and have fun with it. Even just show me something fun today. I want to laugh today. Show me something fun, Then take that feeling Even if it's like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock at night, no, my fun thing didn't come in. No, because it could take up until, I mean, I've done this before and my kids make me laugh at 10 o'clock at night and I'm like, oh, there you go. It finally came in, you know, but not to ever discredit, because we are delivered our manifestations. We are delivered on universal time when it's right, and we are delivered what we need in the moment, not always what we want. We're delivered always what we need in the moment. And the wants come, you know, so not to get angry about, this isn't what I asked for. Where is it? That's just like a slap in the face to the universe and God, you know. That's why honoring and celebrating all of the small things, all of the little things, even waking up today, breathing, you know, that's breathing. Oh, speaking about breathing, when I was doing my live videos too, my body would have a physical reaction to the point where I couldn't breathe. I mean, I could breathe, but very shallow breathing. And I'm like, what is happening? I didn't say anything. Like, I was nervous to do them, but my body was taking on another step of it and was giving me this physical reaction. And then I was like breathing and coughing and panic attacking. And I'm just like, I got to be on at like 1 o'clock, you know? Nobody would ever know what happened like 5 minutes prior. It doesn't happen anymore, thank God. But my daughters would even say, I'm doing another live again. Like, it was like a joke in the family. Mom's getting ready to do another live because look at her. She's, you know, she's having trouble breathing. So we've got this force inside of us, the big force inside of us that wants to come out, the big force inside of us that has something to say, the big force that has the truth to speak to somebody. Somebody needs to hear what you have to say. And we have the small force that takes over. The small force of fear takes over and causes things like that, panic attacks. And finally, I had to say, literally out loud, stop it. Stop it. This isn't going to happen anymore. You can't keep doing this. And I stopped immediately, and I got and did my live, and it has never happened again. So we can't let that small force of fear stop us from what we're supposed to be doing. And to command it out, cast it out, works every single time. Commanding what you want works. Casting out what you don't want works. That's how strong this stuff is. So if anybody has ever felt that way, it was very strange because I knew I was nervous, but apparently, like, I've got other personalities, subconscious. Why don't we just give her a panic attack, you know? She's saying she's nervous, so that comes after being nervous, right? A panic attack. And I'm like, why, this is so weird, because I'm not used to stuff like that. So when weird things happen like that, I'm like, I like my breath. So anyways, to be thankful and grateful for doing live videos without panic attacks. Where are we? 2:48. My gosh, I've got one more thing to say. I've got so much to say, but we also have 2 more days. So one thing about time, which I'm going to talk about later, the illusion of time. And a lot of times we are running late. We have appointments that are scheduled that all of a sudden are scheduled at the same time. Sometimes you want to do all of it. I mean, this used to happen to me when I was younger. You know, I'd have a bunch of jobs that all of a sudden would book at the same time. And I'm like, and I couldn't do them all or whatever. And it would make me mad because I'm like, I've got all these hours in the day. Why all of a sudden are 3 coming in at the same time? That would happen before I knew what to do. I knew how to bend my time, shorten my time, extend my time, like play with time, I guess. So I was having a mattress, the mattress I got for myself for Christmas Eve. I returned it, which I've never done before because I'm like, this mattress is terrible. Like, I'm a sleeper and dreamer. I need like a cozy plush mattress, and it was expensive and I didn't like it. And I'm like, how do I return this mattress? So anyways, I got that whole thing taken care of. They were going to come yesterday to pick it up, which I was excited about, get it out of my house. I ended up getting another one. But I also wanted to start working out again because I haven't been to the gym in a couple weeks because of the holidays and work and stuff. And I had to go move my energy. I had to. So I went to a cycle class, which I love. I don't know if anybody else cycles here, but like the music, it just brings me things. Like, it just brings me downloads, and I love it, love it. So I was at my cycle class, And 10 minutes into it, I see my phone go off and I see this number that looks like the delivery number. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, I need to be here, but I need to be there. And I I don't want to miss them picking up the mattress and then have like another delivery fee. And it was just, I got nervous. So I was like texting my daughter while I'm on the bike and I'm like trying to not fall off the bike. And I'm like, two teenagers at home. Can anybody help me? Is anybody up? Can anybody be there to open the door? No response, no. And I'm like, oh my gosh, okay. So I finally just was like, I made the decision. We can choose and make a decision in any moment to work out for us. And we may not see it in that moment, but we will later. So I made the decision, I'm not getting off this bike. I'm not gonna cut the class short. I'm gonna stay here and enjoy this class. And I don't know how, but everything's gonna work out perfectly. I'm gonna get that mattress picked up. Everything's just gonna work out perfectly. I'm commanding that. And then that was it. So I just kept doing my bike. And then afterwards, I went to my car, and as I'm walking to the car, I got a phone call from the delivery people, thinking that they're like, wondering where I'm at or whatever, they left or something like that. I'm like, what time are you guys gonna be there? And he goes, oh, we've got bad news. Our truck broke down, so it's gonna be about 45 minutes. And I'm like, oh, isn't that interesting? That's perfect. That'll give me time, get home, get showered, and have everything work out perfectly. So remember that next time you're rushing somewhere, don't put yourself in danger by rushing. If you're not supposed to be there on time, you're not supposed to be there on time. If you are, you'll make all the green lights. If you are supposed to be there on time, then someone else might be late. Like, you never know how the universe is conspiring to help you. But don't get worried if you're running late, because it's so precise, it might have you need to meet someone else. You might need to be late for someone leaving that otherwise you would have missed the encounter with them. So try to like make a game of it. Oh, I'm late. I must be, something must be coming in for me, one of my desires or someone I'm supposed to meet, but don't rush to potentially put yourself in danger. That was my story on time, but that was kind of crazy. Vanessa, I love when everything works out perfectly. I do too, and I say that too. It all works out perfectly. Now, I didn't cause the guy's truck to break down, but I can only handle my energy. Jenna, I was led to a spot a couple of weeks ago. Now I may know why. Ooh, yep. I talk to my angels all the time. Yep. I agree. They show me the way. It's all about the feels. Yes, Regina. Lives terrify me. I know, Stephanie, they terrify me. But I'm like, I gotta just keep going. I have to keep going, like the little engine that could. Vanessa, bought a light. It's on my list to overcome. Oh, yes, Vanessa. Have fun with it. Have fun. And if you even want to do one in this group, for anybody that is wanting to try out their lives, in a safe space with all of us, then I would definitely support you with that. Carolyn has done an amazing job with lives too. She was very uncomfortable. Yes, 100%. You're doing amazing. And Michelle too. She did a 30-day live challenge for herself, so she could be accountable showing up. So it's okay. Everything doesn't need to get done today. Everything doesn't need to get done today. We can do what we do. And just as long as we get a little bit better and we learn a little bit more of this information and we understand how it can help us, work towards our greatness, align towards our supreme abundance, because this is the year. I guarantee this is the year. And I can't wait to share more information with you guys. So I'm so glad you guys were here. I will be back tomorrow for day 2 with another amazing stories and more information for you to get you into your supreme abundance alignment. So I love you. Thank you for showing up. Anybody watching the replay, #replay, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.